Wondering which affordable Bluetooth speaker is the best? Well, let's compare the JBL Flip 7, the SONY ULT 1, the BOSE SoundLink Flex, and the Beats Pill 2024. So this is our JBL Flip 7. I'm going to put it at max volume so you can actually hear if there's any distortion. And as you can see, I'm outdoors, so you're going to be able to see how far can you actually hear this from and how clear is it going to be. As you can see, it's on, it's playing. We're going to put the volume at 50%. This is 50% volume. Now let's get the show started. JBL signature sound. So now if I press Auracast on both of mine, I'm going to see how quickly that paired. So it's playing stereo on both. So right now it is playing stereo on both speakers. So this is going to be on our Beats Pill. We're going to see how this sounds. We're going to turn it on. This is going to be at max volume. You can already hear some of the distortion right there. You hear that distortion? So this is the BOSE SoundLink Flex Gen 2. We're going to turn it on. Now this is going to be 50% volume, 100% volume, and we're going to put this with bass boost on. Here's the bass radiator. It's very secure, but the volume is not going to be as loud as what you get on the bigger speakers. But at this size, it's one of the best value plays you can get for any Bluetooth speaker, even though it's not that big of an improvement over the SoundLink Flex 1. Got the volume all the way on max. Got the volume all the way on max. If you're wondering how well do I hear the music because the speaker is on home base, I'm basically on second. Well, it's going to sound pretty good. It's not going to be really loud, but I can hear the beat and the rhythm. The music is dynamic. It's not going to be super loud here, but you can definitely hear it. It's kind of like if you are standing 30 feet away or 40 feet away from a very loud speaker. But that little speaker is sitting all the way at home base now. So how would I describe the sound profile for the Flip 7? I would actually say it's quite refined, yet it's going to be very energetic. So it's on the louder side, and it's really building upon what you would expect from a JBL Flip. So it's going to have clearer highs. It's meant to deliver as much bass as possible inside of a price point this low, and you can tweak it using the EQ. The difference is that if you're trying to compare it to something like a BOSE, the BOSE is offering something a little bit more warm, and the profile is going to be better balanced. And honestly, because of the bass radiator being on the back like this, in an indoor setup, because it has the ability to adjust itself spatially, so if you're playing it this way or this way, it can adjust the sound profile. It does perform better indoors than what I would say the Flip does. If you're wondering how does the bass sound on your Flip 7, I would say that it's much more powerful than what you get with the Flip 6, but it's not going to be as powerful as what you get with the SONY ULT 1. And I think that has a lot to do with just how they configured these areas. Because of the material, it gets loud, but the bass is not going to feel as deep. You won't feel that rumble grumble inside of your stomach unless you really turn it up inside of the customizable EQ. Now, the Sony out of the box, just with the ULT field on, it's just going to sound more punchy than what you get with the JBL, in my opinion. Talking about the BOSE, I would say the BOSE has just a more clear low-end frequency sound than what you get with the JBL. And the beats here, the beat sounds really good indoors, but if you're using it outdoors, I do find if you max out the volume, you could start getting more distortion over what you see on the JBL. If you're talking about overall battery life, it really depends which mode you have it on. So if you're using your unit and you have the bass all the way on max and you are listening it to on max volume, the battery life is going to drastically shorten compared to if you're just operating them at 50%. The JBL Flip 7 gives you about 14 hours of battery life. BOSE is giving you about 12 hours of battery life compared to the Beats, which is also giving you about 12 hours of battery life. Now the Sony ULT 1 gives you 12 hours of battery life with the ULT on and 24 hours with the ULT off. If you're talking about multi-speaker pairing, well, all of them except for the Beats is giving you multi-speaker pairing party mode. So the BOSE has the Simple Sync, your Sonys are going to have Sony Connect, and your JBL comes with Auracast. So ultimately, what's our verdict? Well, the one thing we didn't talk about is price. And the biggest knock on the JBL Flip 7, being the newest out of the bunch here, is that it's going to cost $150 MSRP. So it's even more expensive than its predecessor, and it's going to be more expensive than the Sony ULT 1, because we're already seeing it on sale for about $100 or $109. And we're seeing the BOSE SoundLink Flex 2 on sale for about $110 and $120. And we've already seen the Beats Pill 2024 costing $99 or less on sale. So all of these options are relatively affordable, and to be honest, I would be surprised if the Flip 7 is not at $100 within the next 6 to 9 months. So then ultimately, which one is going to be the best for you is going to depend on your needs. But the Flip 7 is going to be a strong contender if you're prioritizing ruggedness and customization. If you want something a little bit more powerful with the alt mode, I think the Sony ULT 1 is going to be a little bit better than what you get with the JBL Flip 7 as an outdoor speaker. But the reverse of that is that if you're looking for really good indoor use, or you're looking for something more beautiful, that's where you're going to say, well, the Beats Pill might make sense because it's really not rugged. It doesn't come with the same features. It does not shockproof. It's not IP67, 68. It doesn't have all of this, but it looks really good. And as long as you're not throwing it around, it won't get scratched. The BOSE SoundLink Flex is really just a tried and true tested design, similar to what you get with the Quiet Comforts from BOSE, where once you use it, you know what you're getting. It sounds good. It's flexible. It's capable. It's just not that exciting. So the big thing is there's no wrong answers here. They're all very capable speakers, just that the newer ones are going to be better than the older ones. So with that, thanks for watching, everybody. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment box below, and please hit that like or subscribe button. It really does help support our channel. And I'll catch you next time. This is Dave with the French Glow, signing off. Bye, bye, bye.